Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I am going to make a video on the news that we got a few days ago. I know I'm already late on this news because it came out, a few days ago and I never reported on it. And I know other YouTubers already reported on this news, but we got some new cast members for Scream 6, Jack Champion, Liana Liberato, Devon Nakota, and Josh Segarra. These four new characters will be introduced in Scream 6. And if I'm being honest, I don't know any of them. Um, I don't really know any of them or who they are, or I don't think I've seen them anywhere. But yeah, I remember because whenever I saw the picture and the deadline right here, article right here, and I saw it, and I was just scrolling through it, and I saw the pictures, their names, and I was just like, who are these people? I didn't know who any of them were, but I looked them up and I saw, you know, where they were at, some shows they were in, some TV um, shows they were in, some movies. I saw, some interesting things that they were in. Jack Champion, he's in the Avatar sequels. Uh, Devon Dakota was in a a Disney show from a couple years ago, I think. And Josh Segarra was in he was in Arrow from the CW show, I think. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was from there. But I know he was from Arrow, and I remember watching that show. Then looking back, I'm pretty sure I remember him there um briefly because I like recently watched the show when I was rewatching the seasons and whatnot. I briefly remember seeing him there, so I definitely do remember him, and I do know who he is now that I'm looking back at it. But everyone else, I really don't know who they are. So I was just like looking them up to see who they are, and yeah, they're basically gonna be new characters that are gonna be introduced in the new Scream movie, Scream 6. I'm excited to see what they do with these characters because you know, we haven't really got any new confirmation for new characters or just new information on Scream 6 in a while in general. So, getting this kind of news, that they're going to be in Scream 6 will be in New York. It'll be during Halloween. It'll be, you know, some, it'll be in a big city like New York. It'll be set during Halloween, and we're getting new character confirmations. This week has been crazy. It has been crazy. Like we usually don't get um, this much news, Scream 6 news in like the same week. So this is honestly very exciting for me because for the past week, 2 weeks or so, we've just gotten nothing but bad news and all this and that and all the drama, with Nev. And, it's just been nothing but negative news that we've gotten these past few weeks. But, I'm glad now that we're getting more positive news all in the same week. Hopefully, next week we can get, more information, more news, see what more info we can get. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited to see what these characters, what these actors will play, what kind of characters they will play in Scream 6, what they will do, um, what they will establish for this new sequel in the franchise. Like, I'm really excited for that. So, yeah, I think overall this is good news. I'm hoping that soon they will, confirm more new characters because I'm sure there is other new characters that we still don't even know about that they probably are gonna confirm sooner or later. But yeah, like we hopefully we get more news, more casting news and whatnot. So yeah, this should be fun, because it's really exciting to hear, you know, when new characters get announced in a Scream movie because you always want to see who they are, if you recognize them, um, how they will be in the movie, what character they'll play. You can speculate what kind of character they'll play, if they'll be a killer, if they'll be a victim. You can. It's very exciting to see you know new people getting out in a Scream movie. Um, but yeah, I also just wanted, speaking on, whether new characters can be victims or killers, looking at these four people right here, who do I think is the victims and who do I think is the killers? Now, me, I'm not gonna, already give out, full on, you know, thoughts and theories, but I do have you know, thoughts that maybe could be could be true, could be not. We'll have to wait and see. But I do think this first this first kid who's 17 years old in real life. When I looked it up, Jack Champion, this first kid right here, he he's 17 years old. And when I looked that up and I saw that, I was very surprised. And hey, he could be the killer. He could be a victim. We don't know. He looks innocent in this picture, which means that he might be playing an innocent type character, but that does not mean that he can't be the killer. I mean, we've seen many times in the Scream franchise the most innocent looking people, the most, normal looking people, well, not normal, but I guess more so just like not killer type vibe. The people who don't really give off the killer vibe have been, killers. So it's very possible that he can be the killer, even if he does look like an innocent. Just judging off this picture that right here, he does look like an innocent. You know, he looks like he can be an innocent character, innocent person. But I mean, who knows? He could be revealed to be the killer still. You never know. Um, Liana Liberato, which is this person right here. I feel like it could go either way. Like she can be a victim or a killer, but who knows? We've never had a blonde be a killer in the Scream movies. I mean, most of the blondes in the Scream movies they end up they end up getting killed, usually because you know Scream plays off the stereotype of you know the hot blonde or whatever always ends up dying in horror movies. So Scream kind of plays off that stereotype. They kind of played off of that in Scream 1 with Tatum, and then in Scream 2 with Cece, and then Scream 3 with, um, what's her name? In Scream 3, that one character. Oh, yeah, Sarah Darling. In Scream 3, they played off of that with her as well. Scream 4, they played off of that with Jenny and Marnie in the Scream 4 opening. Literally, the blonde is always like the one that gets killed, and whatnot. So yeah, she might end up dying in Scream 6. But who knows? She might be the first blonde to be actually the killer and not a victim. We never know. We never know. But yeah, I feel like it could go either way with her. She can be a killer or not a killer. I mean, I could imagine her getting a chase scene, which is something I want to see in Scream 6, some chase scenes, some epic chase scenes. And I could see that happening with her getting a chase scene and like in an alleyway or like in a building, and she just gets killed. But I also can see her, reveal herself to be a killer, it's very possible. It's very possible. So I feel like it could go either way with her. Now, this person right here, Devon Dakota, I feel like her. I feel like she can be. Um, if I'm being honest, she looks kind of like a killer. She looks like a killer. You know how? Because you know how in the Scream movies, there's certain you know people who just look like a killer, and you're just like, yeah, this person's a killer. He just looks like a killer. But for example, Billy in Scream One, he looks like a killer because he looks creepy. He looks you know scary and weird and whatever. He just gave off those killer vibes. But he was like he had like a killer face as well. He had like a killer face, and for a male, that was he gave off those killer vibes and his attributes. But in Scream 5 with Amber, she also gave off those killer vibes as a female though. She had this like killer evil face of like, yeah, I'm a killer. I could you know kill you right now. That's the vibes that Amber from Scream 5 kind of gave off, because I felt like in Scream 5, you know, I felt like Amber was kind of obvious, kind of like how Billy was in Scream 1. So for a female, Amber definitely had the killer face. And I feel like she right here, Devon Dakota, she can definitely look like she can be the killer. So, I mean, I'm not saying that just based off their face, obviously, that they're the killer, but I'm just saying they could be. There is a possibility. You never know. But yeah, I will say it could be either way because um, who knows? They might make her like a red herring or something. They might try to make her look like a killer, but then it gets revealed that she's not a killer. So they could make her a red herring. Who knows? But last but not least, we got Josh Segarra. Now him, I looked up his, because I like I said, I remembered him from Arrow, the show Arrow, and what's it called? I looked him up though, and I saw his age, and I saw he was 36 years old. So, you know, these three characters right here look like they can play more so younger characters in like a college setting and Tara's friend group and whatnot. Maybe sorority sisters like from Scream 2, those two sorority sisters that were like annoying Sydney and whatnot. So they all look like they fit the age, they look the age for a college setting. Him though, he obviously looks more older and he is older, he's 36. So I was just thinking to myself, what kind of character can he play for a Scream movie? A cop? A teacher? Professor? Uh, someone's dad? Tara's dad? I like we just I don't know. He's an older character, and I really don't know what kind of character he can play. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of character he'll be. So I just had so many like you know thoughts just running in my head, just thinking like what kind of character could he play? Like I just really don't know. Like his age range does not look like he can be a part of like the friend group of Tara or like even be in a college setting and whatnot. But if he's a professor or like a police officer or like someone's dad or husband, whatever, I feel like that fits, more better and whatnot. But I've also seen theories that he's the killer because, apparently he played a villain in in the he played he played a villain in like another TV show and whatnot. So I've seen plenty of like just theories that he's probably the killer, and people are like, oh yeah, he's definitely the killer. Like he has the killer face, you know, he looks like a killer. He's been a killer before in somewhere in another TV show, so he definitely could play a villain. So I think he's the killer. Like I saw people saying that, but here's the thing. I I just think that he's probably going to be. I have a theory. I feel like he's going to probably be someone's family member, or he's going to be like a love interest and whatnot. He's going to be like a some type of family member or love interest or whatever, and they're gonna like try to make him like a red herring. They're gonna try to like pull a Derek from Scream 2. You know how like Derek in Scream 2, he was like made to look like this. He was made to look like creepy, and make they tried like so hard in Scream 2 like to make Derek look suspicious and make him look like a killer. And they just spent all that time trying to make him look like a killer. And I think that with Josh Segarra, they're probably gonna do the same thing. They're gonna maybe he's Sam's boyfriend, and they're gonna like make him look suspicious and whatnot. Like we just don't know, but I definitely think he could be a red herring. Like there's no way that that because people are saying that they're guessing him to be the killer already. But what if he's not the killer? What if he's just gonna be a red herring? Like I definitely think that's probably what it's gonna be. Is that he's gonna be a red herring? So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what kind of character he'll play. But I definitely do think that there's a possibility that he's gonna be like a Derek type character from Scream 2. He's gonna be a red herring. He's gonna be the the so-called obvious boyfriend that looks suspicious and probably is the killer, but isn't. So, because you gotta remember, in Scream One, they made Billy the killer, and like Billy, he was pretty obvious. So, but they in the movie they did so many like misdirects. They at one moment they made him look suspicious, but then in another moment they threw that suspicion off of him because oh he got arrested, oh he got so-called killed. So then they like threw suspicion off of you like so many times. And then when it was finally revealed that he actually was the killer, it was just like, wow, like I guessed it, but at the same time, like I did not expect for him to like have faked his death and then like for him to actually be the killer. So it was like so many misdirects with Billy. He was obvious, but he was obvious on purpose because they were trying to make you think that he was obvious. So that way he can't, so-called possibly can't be the killer. But then in Scream 2, they did the same thing. They were like trying to, with Derek, they were trying to make you think that, oh, he's the other love interest, for Sydney. He's definitely the killer because he was the obvious boyfriend. And now Derek, he's pretty suspicious as well, so he's definitely the obvious boyfriend. He's definitely the killer. But then even Randy himself, he was like, you know, you know, he said at first he was like, hey, what about Derek? Hello, Billy Loomis, the obvious boyfriend. And then he was like, but not so fast, not so fast, because what if They're trying. What if the killer is actually trying to break some new ground and do something different? So it's not going to probably be the same thing that we're expecting. So, and that's exactly what happened because Derek wasn't the obvious boyfriend. You know, they were trying to make you think that he was obvious and make him look suspicious so that way you can think that he's the killer, just like Billy, but he wasn't. And then in Scream 5, they basically mirrored that with Richie, and they made him look suspicious. Well, not because I would say Richie wasn't entirely suspicious. Like there was some moments where he was suspicious, but like he wasn't. I would say he wasn't as obvious as Billy, because he was he obviously was the obvious love interest. I mean, even Dewey caught him out. But like the thing is that Dewey caught out Derek as well, and he was wrong about him. So I think overall Dewey was just going off of assumption, because the love interest was the killer in the first movie. So I assume that's why Dewey had said that. But Dewey he kind of like pointed out the obvious, but it wasn't entirely obvious as Billy because with Richie, he kind of had like he kind of had his own unique personality. He was funny, he was goofy, he was supporting towards Sam. Like he wasn't like Billy where he was just like creepy and weird and he was just like always trying to peer pressure Sydney into doing things that he wants and like he was trying to like control Sydney. He was basically he wasn't entirely like Billy, but he was kind of like Billy because he was the love interest. But other than that, he wasn't entirely like Billy. But then in the end, he kind of was like Billy because he ended up being revealed as the killer, and basically it was revealed that the love interest was the killer. So they basically tried to like fake you out many times with Richie, making you think that he can't be the killer because there's no way they're gonna make the love interest the killer again. They did it with Derek, they did it with Trevor, they made them red herrings, so there's no way Richie's gonna be the killer. Like no way they're gonna do the love interest killer again. He's too obvious. But then it gets revealed that he is the killer, so I think it was very well played with that. And like I said, I don't think he was as obvious as Billy. He had his own unique personality and his own like personality traits that I think fit well for his character, and it really his like overall like demeanor. It kind of sometimes it like turned fans off of suspicion off of him because Richie was like he wasn't exactly like Billy, so you know he I'll definitely say Richie wasn't as obvious as Billy, but he overall was the love interest killer, just like Billy. So I think since Scream 6 is going to be kind of like Scream 2, since this is like a requel trilogy of just the original trilogy, I assume that this person right here, Josh Segarra, he's definitely probably going to be a red herring. They're going to try to pull a Derek, and, he's probably just going to end up being not the killer. So, yeah, these are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, who do you guys think will be a victim or a killer from, all these four people right here? Are you excited that they're to see that we're getting some new faces finally confirmed for Scream 6? Are you excited for these people in Scream 6? Let me know in the comments below. Um, Give this video a thumbs up, like and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.